Arrest Netanyahu for war crimes. Everybody knows this is the right thing to do. You do too. In your heart, anyway. If your mind's telling you differently, there's something wrong with your mind. You've been tricked. But we can fix that. It's an easy fix. So when I say arrest Netanyahu for war crimes, you might make some excuse for his genocide by saying, oh, but Hamas. So arrest Hamas for war crimes. They skipped that step. And if the response was to skip the step the other way, you wouldn't like that. Now, is it just racism? Because if it's not just racism, then I think it's something that they trick our minds with by getting us to expect bad things to happen to people at the bottom, to people who don't have power, to expect and accept bad things to happen because we've expected it and experienced it for so often. And, on the other hand, we expect and then accept when people at the top get no consequences for all their terrible actions. Now, sometimes they do, and ultimately, either terrorists or tyrants end up in trials or termination in some fashion. So it would really be doing them a favor to get them into a trial. And it would be doing not just their victims and their future victims a favor by being being able to continue to live, but it would be doing them a favor to have them stopped earlier, just like it would have done Trump a favor to have arrested him years ago, to stop all the crimes he's committed since then. So it would be doing Netanyahu a favor to stop him somehow before his future crimes. But we're not going to, we can do what we can to influence the people who make these decisions, but we're not going to change the outcome of this personally, depending on who's watching this video. But we can change the way we think about it. So if you don't understand or you somehow can't see why Netanyahu should be arrested for war crimes, is it because you think his genocide is justified because of the terrible things Hamas did? Well, now he's done terrible things. So does that mean anything's justified to him or anybody around him, innocent civilians, all over, or the entire nation of innocent civilians, just because of something terrible he's done? Because he's done terrible things. So if you follow these justifications through or reverse them, you'll see that they can't possibly be true. That there isn't a justification for genocide. That it's wrong, there's no excuse. And if the excuse that you have is one you concocted yourself or enabled to happen or avoided taking precautions or adequately stopping, then maybe that's because they're responsible for that too. So if you want the people responsible for October 7th to face justice, or you have a trial for their crimes, that might include Netanyahu too. But we know of much worse war crimes, many of them that he's committed since then, and there needs to be account for that. And if we're only expecting things to happen to people at the bottom, maybe we need to have this be the cause to reverse that whole system and expect things to happen to the criminals at the top before anything happens to people at the bottom, and demand that. Because once we remove the tyrants at the top, everybody's lives will be so much better. There'll be a whole lot less bad things going on for everybody here. Thank you.